Hey guys, so we have now entered the month of April, so let's go ahead and talk about the schedule for April. Now, we do already have the April Fool's character. It is Cyborg Tao. Interesting decision. I did not expect them to go with Dragon Ball for the April celebration. And the reason why I say that is because if you take a look at the past two April Fools that we've had, 2023 and 2024. In 2023, we had the Pui Pui release. Now, Pui Pui obviously is related to the Majin Buu saga, so that led into the Majin Buu saga celebration, which gave us the Buu duo, Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta with the Transcendent Kamehameha, and then we had the Ultra Kid Buu at the end of April. And in 2024, last year, we had the Farmer with a Shotgun event, we got the free-to-play Raditz, and that led into the Mega Rising banner with Blue Yamcha and it was Blue Yamcha and the Yellow Saiyan Saga Goku, everyone's favorite release. And then at the end of the month, we ended up getting the LF Nappa, who revives into Saiyan Saga Vegeta. So 2 years in a row, the April Fool's character has correlated with the celebration for the month. So it would make sense to me that DB would be the focus for April here. The only other tag that Cyborg Tao has is Weapon Wielder, and I don't think we would get a dedicated celebration surrounding Weapon Wielder. It's just kind of an ancillary tag for him. So DB, yeah, I mean, the last Dragon Ball campaign we had was back in 2023. It was when Path to Power Kid Goku dropped, and then we got the Mega Rising banner for the 23rd World Tournament Goku and Piccolo Jr. And overall, I don't think it was handled the greatest. They even emergency dropped like a super crazy equip at the end of the celebration. Team actually ended up being decent just because of that equip, but overall, it was not really handled the greatest. So I am hoping that they redeem the DB team here by the end of this celebration. They usually do a good job whenever they have these dedicated months to celebrate either a certain tag or a certain saga or something like that. They typically, recently at least, have done a decent job at making sure that the team is semi-competent and competitive at the end of the celebration. This is going to be our final celebration before the anniversary. I will be doing a separate video discussing the anniversary, the timing of when the banners are going to drop, what I think is going to drop, but that is going to be the end of May. So we're going to have this celebration go basically all the way through the 30th. I think the last, we'll talk about this in a second, but I think the last major release is going to be on April 30th. And then the anniversary, I think, well, I'll just spoil it, I think is going to start on the 24th, May 24th, which is a Saturday. So we're going to have essentially all of this time with nothing dropping, but that is usually how things go leading up till the anniversary celebrations that we've gotten in the past. So what do I think is going to happen in terms of the schedule here? I think it's pretty straightforward. Now, I'm going to always put a disclaimer here because we have seen some funny business with scheduling this year, so you never really know 100% what's going to happen. But we had the April Fool's character drop. Technically, it now is the 2nd. I'm recording this at 1:45 a.m. I put in the long hours for you guys. Let's get through this video. But the character dropped on April 1st. We had Cyborg Tao. So that is going to cover the content for this week. Today is typical reset. They did it a day early because that's just when April Fools fell on. But we do already have the PvP equip in the data, which is what we're going to be getting today with the new PvP season. But I don't expect to get anything else until the 9th. So we're going to go from here all the way here, I think, with nothing new, no new updates. But then on the 9th, this is when I think we could see a Zenkai. Last year, we got the Zenkai for the Blue Saiyan Saga Goku, the Goku who fought Raditz. He got his Zenkai right here. So I think it is definitely possible. Actually, I have the last year calendar pulled up here. Let me see. So yeah, that blue... So Raditz dropped here on Monday the 1st. I don't think we got anything all the way here. And then on the 10th, we had the Blue Saiyan Saga Goku drop. That Zenkai for that character. So we had the blue Zenkai, the Zenkai for the Blue Saiyan Saga Goku here. We had Yamcha and Yellow Saiyan Saga Goku dropped. That Mega Rising banner dropped here. This was the Revival Green Kid Gohan Zenkai. and then we had the Nappa and Vegeta drop here. So that was how the month went last year. If you look at what we've gotten so far, we've only gotten one Ultra character since Festival has ended in Cell, right? Cell is the only Ultra character we've gotten. And if you take a look at 2023, we had Ultra Hit release at the end of January. We had Ultra Rose release in March. And then we had Ultra Kid Buu drop at the end of April. So we actually had 3 Ultras in between Festival and Anniversary, a lot of Ultras. Last year, we had Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan drop at the end of February. And then we had Ultra Golden Frieza drop at the end of March. So we had 2 Ultras last year in between Festival and Anniversary. So at this point, we've only had 1 Ultra. I would be a little bit concerned. I don't know if I want to say concerned, but it would be a little strange to me if we only got 1 Ultra in between Festival and Anniversary. So I am anticipating at the end of this month, for the final release before the 7th anniversary, we probably will be getting an Ultra on the 30th here. I do expect it. Other possibilities, I think it's possible on the 16th. This is when we usually get an LF character. I think it's at least possible we could potentially get a Mega Rising. We have not gotten a Mega Rising this entire year. They don't put tons of Mega Rising banners out. I honestly don't even think the format should still be in the game. They should just discontinue the Mega Rising format, sort of like how they discontinued the All-Star format. They've discontinued the Ultra Space Time banner format. I think they should just do this. They should do with the Mega Rising format the same thing they've done with the All-Star and Ultra Space Time Summon format. Just get rid of it. I don't think we need those banners anymore. But I think what's most likely going to happen is I think it'll be an LF character on the 16th, and then I think it'll be an Ultra character on the 30th. Could it be a Mega Rising somewhere in there? Sure. The only combination I think that is very unlikely is 2 LFs. And the reason why I say that is because we've already gotten 2 months where we've had 2 LFs. So I don't think that's really going to happen here again, but I guess we will see. Right, we had the January celebration where we had the Future Gohan and Trunks, and then at the end of the month we had Fusion Zamasu, and then this month that we just finished in March, we had Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta and then Super Saiyan 4 Goku for the Daima celebration. So to me, I think we are due for an Ultra at the end of this month, and I have a list of some characters that I think we could get here, but let me just start by saying Dragon Ball is criminally underrepresented in this game. We have almost 7 years of operation for Legends. And if we take a look at the roster here, I have the DB tag pulled up. I mean, this is it. The entirety of OG Dragon Ball, this is what we got. And if you look at everything, basically everything through like here is like the first 2 years of the game, give or take, right? Everything else here is like the last 5 years pretty much. And this is what we have to represent the original Dragon Ball series. So, I mean, I could literally jot down like 30 or 40 different characters from OG Dragon Ball that we should get in the game at some point, representation for them. Obviously, they're not all deserving of being major characters, major banners, but I have a listing of characters that I think do deserve to be LF characters, and then I have a very short list of characters that I think do deserve to be Ultra characters. So again, I think the most likely outcome here is LF. So it's going to be this. Nothing from now until the 9th. The 9th is when we'll get a Zenkai. The 16th will be an LF. The 23rd will be a Zenkai. And then the 30th, I think, will be an Ultra. I guess the first thing we should do here is look at the roster and maybe just talk about which characters I think could get a Zenkai. Because, I mean, this tag needs help, man. Needs help bad. Okay, so let's just see what we're working with here. So I think there are a few choices here. You know what I'm going to say? This might sound a little bit strange, but my number 1 pick for a Zenkai for this team is actually going to be Yellow Roshi. And the reason why is because whenever you have a tag where the HP buffer is Zenkai'd, it's just, it opens up so many different avenues for you to mix and match different benches for the team. Roshi giving 20% to DB or Movie's base health. Like, you just slap Yellow DB as a Zenkai buff on this character, and he's like a godly bench. He's an insane bench character. So I think they should probably look at doing him first, because it's always real for, especially for a team like DB, right? It's not like we're talking about, we're not talking about Saiyans. We're not talking about Sun Family or like any of these crazy teams. It's DB. Having just like a forever good bench HP buffer that's a Zenkai buffer as well. Think about like yellow Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. Yellow Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks on Fusion Warriors is always going to be insane. Like, assuming that you always have a usable yellow Fusion Warrior character, why would you ever remove Gotenks from the bench on that team? I think they could do the same thing for Roshi, just to establish like a really good foundation for the bench on this team. I think my number one candidate in terms of just like characters that I think could be good usable Zenkai units is probably this guy. Definitely biased. Not gonna try and deny that. But this guy, first of all, used to be my favorite character in the game when he dropped, and for a bit afterwards, he was just so cool, transforming old Demon King Piccolo into young Demon King Piccolo. He was so good too when he dropped. I think this guy could realistically get a Zenkai Awakening and be like pretty damn good. I think he has a pretty good Z ability here too. 32% to Dragon Ball Saga, Regen, or Powerful Opponent. It's a pretty wide Z ability. 3 tags, like Regen and Powerful Opponent has a lot of crossover and overlap for sure, but Dragon Ball Saga being on here is nice. So what would he do? He'd just be purple DB, I guess. I mean, honestly, purple Powerful Opponent would be the best option here in terms of just him being a good bench for like many different characters, but I would imagine that if they are going to be focusing him around the Dragon Ball team, he would be a purple DB. Another character they could do, now I don't know how likely this is, but if they really wanted to push it, they could do Path to Power Kid Goku. He would be the newest LF Zenkai. The current newest LF Zenkai that we have that exists right now is the Buu Duo. The Buu Duo is a character that released right before the 5th anniversary, and this Path to Power Kid Goku actually is a post 5th anniversary release. However, if you look at the time of when the Buu Duo released to when they actually got a Zenkai Awakening, it's not that much different than if this Kid Goku were to Zenkai now. So they could do that, and I think he's really like the biggest candidate for getting one if they wanted to give us like a really good, solid, usable character in actual combat to help the team out a lot. So I think my number one pick honestly would be Roshi, just to have like a forever good bench character for DB. Then I would go with this guy, and then I'd go with the Goku. I don't really see it being super impactful if they did one for like Yamcha or Launch. The only way this would work, and the only reason why I'm saying this is because of their Z abilities. If we go over to Launch, her Z ability is 45% red green. Well, I guess it is Dragon Ball Saga too, huh? I actually forgot that she did that. Yamcha's Dragon Ball Saga too? Yeah. Actually, these could be good. For some reason, I thought they only buffed colors. Yeah, these aren't bad actually. I could see them buffing these guys, Zenkaiing these guys actually. They'd be good bench. Like if we got, because obviously we need a purple unit right now. None of these guys buff purple. Yeah, these guys are on the table for sure. I forgot. For some reason, I thought they only buffed colors. Okay, so never mind. Launch and Yamcha are on the table. My number one pick is still going to be Roshi, just because he'd be the best bench unit. And obviously, just I'm biased for Demon King Piccolo, so him. And then this guy would be the best character just in terms of being usable. So we have a few options here for Zenkais. So I think Zenkai here on the 9th and then a Zenkai on the 23rd is probably what we'll see. I guess it's possible that if they don't want to Zenkai this Goku, they could just give him a unique equipment. Something I also just want to say real quick is just because a character is getting a unique equipment out of Zenkai Awakening, they could just decide to make the unique equipment crazy good, right? We saw this with like Blue 17. We've had a few other good unique equips for LF characters. Sword of Hope Trunks is a really good unique equip. Like they could just decide to God Goku. Like they could just decide to make this character's unique equip like crazy, and he could be just as good as he would be if he had a Zenkai Awakening. It's possible. Like they could just do that. So that is on the table as well. Like they could, what if they Zenkai'd like Green Yamcha, but then the same day as Zenkai and Green Yamcha, they gave Path to Power Kid Goku like an insane unique equip. That's something they could do as well. So let's talk about the release on the 16th. I think it is most likely it's going to be an LF character. Could be a Mega Rising. They did it last year, but I'm going to go ahead and stick with LF character. So here is my list. I have 6 candidates for LF characters from OG Dragon Ball that I think this could be. The first one is Jackie Chun from the 21st World Tournament. I understand that he would be probably the least hype LF character we would have gotten up until now. But the Jackie Chun versus Kid... For those of you who have not watched OG Dragon Ball, the Jackie Chun versus Kid Goku fight is one of the better fights in the entire series in terms of choreography, in terms of what it means. Goku essentially trying to surpass his teacher. I do think there's certainly enough animations from the fight where they could make multiple versions of Jackie Chun from that fight. So there is a lot they could take from there. I just think he'd be a solid pick. Definitely lower on the list of priorities here, I think, if you take a look at all the characters I have on here. So next on the list is going to be Tien from the 22nd World Tournament. The fight against Goku once again. Obviously, we go from the 21st to the 22nd World Tournament, almost back-to-back sagas. But that is another really good candidate, Tien. That is, I would say, probably Tien's best saga in terms of his representation in the series. That is Tien as like the main antagonist of an arc, which that's the only time that happens. So that could be pretty interesting. The next one is going to be Kid Goku from the Demon King Piccolo fight. That is just this Kid Goku right here. This is a Legends Road Kid Goku. This guy is a pre-first anniversary character. This is like one of the oldest free characters. Is he the oldest free character? Like, let's just open this up and see. Event exclusive. What is the oldest event exclusive character? Oh, it's probably, I think this guy is the oldest, the Spirit Bomb Goku. But it's like Spirit Bomb Goku, and then it's this kid. Like, he's literally right there. I think he's the second oldest. And this guy wasn't even through an event. This guy was through the rare metal shop, if I remember correctly. So this Kid Goku, I think, was the very first character to be obtainable through an event. He's that old, man. He is really, really old. So it's about time, almost 7 years later, that we do get an updated version of that Kid Goku, especially considering that his, it still looks okay, but they could really update that animation. The next character is a young Demon King Piccolo. We've had a decent amount. I mean, we've had the yellow one, the original one. We had an EX one, and then we had the transforming one from old Demon King Piccolo into young Demon King Piccolo, and then we had the free-to-play one, which dropped in 2023 as the free-to-play character of the that Dragon Ball Celebration where the Path of Power Kid Goku dropped. But, I mean, it's been a while since we got the last summonable Demon King Piccolo was this purple one. I don't recall the exact year he dropped. Was it 2021, I want to say? I think it was 2021. But he was good when he dropped. The yellow one was really good when he dropped. The yellow one was crazy with the Zenkai Awakening. He was really, really strong. But yeah, we definitely need a new Demon King Piccolo. The next character is 23rd World Tournament Goku, and then the one after him is Piccolo Jr. I don't think they are going to do these guys because they semi-recently dropped. It is kind of crazy to me that these are the only versions of 23rd World Tournament Goku and Piccolo that we have in the game, considering this is considered by a lot of people to be the best fight in the entirety of Dragon Ball. Just overall, across Dragon Ball Z, GT, Super, a lot of people consider this to be the best fight in the series, period. So it's kind of crazy that we only have these two guys in the game in terms of representation. Eventually, I think we will get LF versions of both of these guys. I mean, just think about it. We don't have the headbutt from this Goku. We don't have the explosive demon wave from this Piccolo. So there's a lot left that we could get from animation-wise, especially considering how much fighting these guys do together, or I guess against each other. But in terms of what I think we're going to get in this celebration, I don't think it's time yet. So I just put him on the list because I think it's at least possible. But in terms of the LF character, if I had to give two choices, my first choice would be the Demon King Piccolo fight Goku that does the what do they call it, penetrate or something? I don't remember what they called in this game. What is the attack called? Blast through. This is what would be the LF, right? And then I think my next pick probably would be Tien. Honestly, I think a Tien from the 22nd World Tournament could be really cool. We don't really have a good Tien. We never really had a good Tien. The only Tien we've had that's a sparking, I'm pretty sure, is the Majin Buu Saga one, which is kind of strange. When you think of Tien as a character, you don't really think of Majin Buu Saga Tien, right? Let's just look him up. Yeah, I mean, okay, we have the free-to-play Tien from the 4th anniversary, but like this is the only summonable sparking Tien that exists 7 years in. It's kind of crazy. Tien needs some help, man. We need to get Tien some representation here. So that's what I'm thinking for LF characters. Of course, we have other characters that I mentioned, but those two I think would be my biggest ones. And then we have the Ultra slot. Now, when you think about Ultra characters, especially when you think about the characters that are in Dragon Ball, OG Dragon Ball, to me, there are only two that just jump out, like, as to me, as like super obvious picks. The first one is just like, once again, going to be this Demon King Piccolo fight Kid Goku. And then the second one is Demon King Piccolo himself. And this is what I'm looking at as the Ultra slot, is Demon King Piccolo. I think if I had to choose between the LF release, assuming that the 16th here is going to be an LF character, and assuming that the 30th is going to be an Ultra character, which to me is the most likely scenario, I would choose Demon King Piccolo fight Kid Goku here, and Demon King Piccolo as an Ultra on the 30th. That's what I would say. I don't really think there's many other candidates for Ultras from OG Dragon Ball right now. Right, we're still kind of early on in terms of how many Ultras we have in the game. I mean, if we just take a look at all the Ultras that exist by rarity, like the only kind of not very hype character on here is Turles, right? I would say. Who else is like, would you consider to be like not very hype on here? Maybe like Hit? I don't know, but they made some really cool stuff with Hit, so I don't know. But yeah, we are at the point now where, I mean, I would personally consider Demon King Piccolo to be more hype than Turles. I don't think a lot of people would agree with that, just because Turles is a Saiyan and Saiyans are popular, but this is like the major villain of OG Dragon Ball, is Demon King Piccolo. And then of course, Kid Goku as an Ultra. I mean, that's like obviously he eventually is going to get one, but that is what I'm thinking, and that is what my ideal scenario would be here. So essentially what this campaign would be, instead of just, if we go down that path, it would essentially end up being like a showdown with the Demon King celebration kind of thing, where instead of it being all of OG Dragon Ball, it's mostly just focused around the fight against Demon King Piccolo. And maybe we could get things like Demon King Piccolo's children in there, tambourine, drum, cymbal. We could maybe get Tien from his fight against Demon King Piccolo, his fight against Drum. We could get maybe like a new Yajirobe when he fought Symbol. There's a lot we could get from this. Master Roshi maybe doing the evil containment wave. We already have an evil containment wave, Master Roshi, but that's from the Throne of Power. There's a lot we could do here. So that is what I'm thinking for the April schedule. Let me know what you guys think of what you want to see from April and what you hope they do for the Dragon Ball team, assuming that is what's going to happen. It seems likely, because we do have Cyborg Tao now. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will see you in the next one.